Final Fantasy. Everyone knows about this franchise. It's like one of those legendary gaming franchises you hear about and decide to try. And if you're like me, then you end up falling in love with it. And a game I fell in love with recently is Final Fantasy V. Now sadly, not many people have played this game. It came out only in Japan for its official SNES release. And you know what the West got? Mystic Quest. However, it was given a fan translation on emulator, and soon got a port to the GBA and PS1. As of right now, Final Fantasy V is my second favorite game in the franchise, with 4 being third and 6 being first. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I fucking love the SNES trilogy. So why do I love Final Fantasy V so much? Well, let's take a look. First part I want to begin with is the gameplay. Final Fantasy V is my favorite battle system in the series. It pretty much takes a job system from 3, upgrades it tenfold, and polishes it to perfection. It allows for so much experimentation and creativity. Every playthrough will give a new experience. Basically how it works is, you choose a job for a certain character. Each job has different restrictions and abilities. Knights can only wield swords and shields, mages can only use staffs, etc. When using that certain job, a character can level it up and gain abilities from it to use with other jobs. For example, if you level up Black Mage, you gain the ability to use certain level Black Magics. So if you want to be a knight with Black Magic, go ahead. You want to be a monk who can steal from enemies? No problem. You want to be a ninja who can enchant his or her sword with magic? You can do it. Mastering a class can also give characters certain significant stat boosts. You can even master all classes for every character and make the game insanely easy, without probably taking like a year of grinding. Your characters start as freelancers who can use any weapon and can equip any armor. The only time you should be a freelancer is at the start of the game, when you have no jobs obviously, and at the end game when you have mastered several jobs and acquired dozens of abilities. By the final dungeon, freelancer becomes the best job since you can have 2 custom abilities instead of just 1, along with no weapon or armor restrictions. So yeah, the job system gives this game a great amount of replay value and gives the battle system layers of depth. The gameplay is near perfection, but how is the story? Final Fantasy is known for having great stories and characters, and compared to the other games, Final Fantasy V's story isn't as deep nor serious. It goes back to the classic tale of protecting the 4 crystals from evil, but Final Fantasy V does have its own twists. For example, the main villain of this game, X-Death, gains the power to wipe out things from existence. And speaking of X-Death, he's probably one of my favorite villains in the franchise. I know some people hate him because of how he's like, I'm the bad guy! And I can see where they're coming from. But I like him because he's honestly a breath of fresh air from villains like Sephiroth who are like, ooh, look at me, I look badass and cool, I'm so deep and serious. Not to mention, X-Death has got a lot of charisma to still be having an army of monsters under his control for so long. Plus, spoiler alert, X-Death is revealed to be a tree! Anyways, the story of Final Fantasy V revolves around the 4 crystals all of a sudden shattering and causing major effects on the world. For example, the wind crystal shatters and all of the wind in the world just stops. When the 4 crystals shatter, X-Death is released from a seal and everyone is screwed. The 4 heroes set out to stop the rest from shattering after seeing the wind crystal shatter, and that's as far as I'll go. Don't want to give too many spoilers. The tale of Final Fantasy V tells might not be too complex, but it's still a fun one nonetheless. Now, let's get into the characters. Starting with the main cast, you got Bartz, or Buds, which is his original name, the main hero of the story, Lena, a princess who's not a damsel in distress, Galuf, an old man who's lost his memory, and Ferris, a pirate captain who's later revealed to be a girl! Don't know if I should have saw that one coming or not. The characters are a pretty colorful and likable cast. Sure, some of them don't attempt suicide, but they do go for some significant character development throughout the game, and have their own personal tragedies. And it's impossible to dislike such colorful characters like these. My favorite of the main cast would have to be either Butts or Ferris. However, without a doubt the best character in this game is Gilgamesh. Seriously, who doesn't like Gilgamesh? He's just a badass and funny dude. He's more quotable than the Metal Gear game, and the battles you have with him are so damn fun. His coolness factor is quadrupled from the fact that he's a 6-armed demigod swordsman. So yeah, I really love the characters in this game. I also like the story as well, but the characters just make the story 10 times better. So what else do I fucking love about this game? Oh yeah, the music! Final Fantasy V's soundtrack is really damn good. Actually, that's an understatement. It's damn amazing. Each song invokes the right feelings and sounds great in their own right. My favorite would definitely be Clash on the Big Bridge. It's just so damn fast-paced and upbeat. Just listen to this. I just love the soundtrack here. Sure, there might be a few weak songs every now and then, but the positives far outweigh the negatives. It's just so good. And that's all I think I need to say on how amazing this game is. Final Fantasy V is seriously one of the most underrated games ever. The job system alone makes this game one of the best, but everything else just adds to that and makes this game legendary. So, if you ever have the time, go get the Final Fantasy Anthology on PlayStation 1 or Final Fantasy V Advance for the GBA, and in case you don't have any of those systems, just emulate the fan-translated version of this game. You won't regret it. This is me, Mr. Madness, and have a good frickin' day.